Goseong was a small, rural village in South Korea, nestled between dense, whispering woods and the silent, ever-moving sea. The air was thick with stories of the old, of spirits that roamed the forest at night, and a curse that had haunted their ancestors for generations. The villagers lived simple lives, untouched by the larger world, until the strange sickness began. It started in the outskirts of the village. At first, it was just one person, a farmer who fell ill with fever and violent hallucinations. Then, it spread. Within weeks, more villagers succumbed to this bizarre disease, sick with rage, their eyes wide, filled with a strange hunger. The affliction quickly revealed itself to be something far more insidious than any illness they had encountered. These were no ordinary zombies. They moved with unnatural speed, their bodies jerking violently, as if controlled by something beyond their own will. When they attacked, it wasn't just for food, it was for their souls, as though the hunger was rooted in some ancient, forgotten darkness. Detective Park, a seasoned officer from Seoul, had come to investigate the deaths, though he was far from prepared for what lay ahead. He arrived in Goseong, just as the town fell into a deep, unsettling quiet. The air seemed heavier, and the silence was punctuated only by the distant howls of the infected. Rumors had been spreading that the curse of the village had resurfaced after a mysterious stranger, a pale, disheveled man with a strange aura, appeared a few weeks before the first illness took hold. They called him the Wandering One. Some believed he was the cause of the outbreak, while others whispered that he was merely a vessel of something far older and far darker. Local shamans, who had long lived in fear of the forest spirits, spoke of an ancient evil being unleashed from the depths of the earth. Park, skeptical but desperate for answers, began investigating the origins of the sickness. But with each passing night, as more and more villagers transformed into mindless, raging creatures, he realized that there was something far worse than he had imagined at play. The Wandering One, it seemed, was the key to this nightmare, a being whose presence in the village was awakening ancient forces. Desperate to save his daughter, who had fallen ill, Park consulted the village's oldest shaman. The woman, with trembling hands, led him to the forest at the heart of the village. There, she told him, they would find the root of the curse. But it was not the Wandering One who was truly to blame, she explained. It was the land itself, cursed by a blood ritual long forgotten, a ritual that had summoned the very demons of the underworld. At the edge of the forest, Park saw the shadows of figures moving in the distance. The infected were there, their bodies twisted and deformed. As they got closer, their eyes burned with an unnatural hunger. But it was the Wandering One who stood in the center of the clearing. His eyes were wide and unblinking, and his hands moved in strange, rhythmic patterns as he muttered in an ancient tongue. Park's heart raced as he realized the truth, the villagers weren't just victims of a disease. They were being consumed, body and soul, by an ancient evil that sought to break free from the darkness of the earth. With nowhere to turn and no one to trust, Park made a final, desperate choice. He rushed toward the Wandering One, hoping to end the curse once and for all, knowing full well that the price would be steep. The forest around him seemed to close in as the air grew heavy with the cries of the infected. In the distance, the village was burning, consumed by the fire of both madness and supernatural wrath. As the ground trembled beneath his feet, Park understood that the only way to stop the plague was to destroy the source of the curse, the very forest that had once held the spirits and demons of the earth. The world was on the brink, and only one man could break the curse, but at the cost of his own humanity. The story of Goseong would be whispered in hushed tones for generations to come, a cautionary tale of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface, waiting to